Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're doing another Fate Reforged Swiss draft. Alright, we got Scroll to Masters, which, by the way, I still think this card is playable, even though I've seen it multiple times and haven't taken it. I still think it's a fine card. But I think it's either Noxious Dragon to start it off, or much more likely one of these Pyrotechnics. We got two in the same pack, which is a bit of an issue. But I am a big Pyrotechnics fan. There's also Whisper of the Wilds, which is a nice green ramp spell, but I think I like Pyrotechnics more. Yes, it's a sorcery, but the fact that you can pretty easily 2-for-1, especially in this format, I would say, get a couple morph guys. I guess it's 2 mana more than Arc Lightning and only 1 more damage, so it's not like it's absolutely bonkers insane, but I like it. 4 is kind of the magic number to a certain degree in this format, now with the brand new dragons especially. But yeah, it's either Pyrotechnics or Whisper, and I think I'm going to take the... just going to go ahead and take the burn spell. The foil, of course. How could I not take the foil? Okay, so follow-up pick. We can go Sky Captain, Honors Reward, both of which are fine. Okay. Oh, where'd the draft go? So Douse and Gloom, but that puts me in Mardu only. So I think it's either Sky Captain or Honors Reward. Oh, there's Outcast too. Yeah, maybe the Outcast. I mean, it doesn't fly, but I like that it gives you the 2 bodies. Got a lot of good white cards. I do tend to go white a lot. I get it. But taking the Outcast here, I feel like leaves me open to both Jeskai and Mardu, which I kind of like. And Douse and Gloom's fine too, but I think the Outcast is a fine pick here, actually. Getting the 2 bodies is something that shouldn't be overlooked. Okay, so now it's Reach of Shadows, which is quite good. There's the Shockmaw Dragon. I think I'm a little more interested in the removal, but the problem with that is I'm passing Harsh Sustenance then. I still think Reach is probably better than Harsh Sustenance. I mean, Harsh Sustenance is better if you... I guess it's pretty debatable, actually, because Harsh Sustenance is better if you end up with a ton of Ponyback Brigades and like Hordling Outbursts, maybe. But Reach of Shadows definitely deals with more stuff. I don't think I'm taking the Shockmaw here. I do like it, but I think at this point we're going to commit. I'm willing to commit to Mardu for one of these cards, and I don't know if I'd rather do it for Reach of Shadows or Harsh Sustenance. Harsh Sustenance is a better card, but more narrowly playable, whereas Reach of Shadows is just always good. There's really never a time where you're not going to want to have it, whereas there are times where you don't want Harsh Sustenance. So I think I'm taking the safer Reach of Shadows pick here. Shockmaw Dragon was fine too, like I said. Okay, now there's Douse and Gloom, Vault Breaker, Carsey High Priest, Sky Captain. A lot of good cards in our colors, so that's a good sign. I think I'd likely rather be black-white. If I'm mending up Mardu, which it would appear at this point that I am, although I could still end up Abzan if I don't end up playing the Pyrotechnics. But if I want to focus on white-black, which I do for the Warriors and stuff like that, especially since this is a Warrior, I may just want the Douse and Gloom, which is a good removal spell. I do like Vault Breaker. Good card. Uncommon as well, but it is a good card. And there's Sultai Emissary, which is also a Warrior. Hopefully we table that. And High Priest is a fine card. I'm leaning on the Douse and Gloom here. I think I just want the removal. I like it. It's a good card. Okay, now there's... not a ton I'm interested in. I think I'd take the Lotus Eye Mystics. Don't have any enchantments yet, but it's not too late. Otherwise, I could take a Warflare, which is certainly good in Mardu. You know, if I still possibly end up a token-based. But even if you don't end up token-based, it's not like Warflare is not a really good, you know, trick or whatever. Lotus Eye Mystics does seem... already kind of good in this deck, though. I mean, just with the prowess. It's also uncommon. This is tough. I think because there's like Rush of Battle and stuff, which is worse than Warflare, I admit, but on par enough where I feel comfortable taking the Lotus Eye Mystics. Okay. I think it's pretty easy Typhoid Rats here, which is just a good early defense card. Okay, could take the Warrior. Hooded Assassin is quite good. It's a late Whisperer of the Wilds. I think I like Assassin more than Vanguard. This one is a Warrior, though, which is going to work better with what we're trying to do. But I like Hooded Assassin quite a bit. I think it's a good card. So I'm going to take it. Okay, I actually don't mind the Cleric here. Also a good card. Otherwise, it's a Lightning Shrieker, but could end up in Abzan. I'm starting to think it might be like that. So, Tabled Scrolls of Masters. I do want to try this card because I don't think it's bad. We already have... I guess we only have 3 non-creature spells, but it's either that or like Goreswine. Ancestral Vengeance is fine, not amazing. I'm going to take Scroll. We'll see if we end up playing it or not. Neither of these cards are good on the splash, and it looks like... I mean, green's not necessarily our splash color, I guess. Could end up more of a green-black base splash white. In which case, I'd probably rather have the Map the Waste if I do end up playing green, I guess. Did table some pretty good green cards. Alright, well, we got a Fierce Invocation back, which I don't mind. Since it is a non-creature spell for this, and gives you something to target with the Scroll of the Masters at the same time. So yes, Manifest cards are quite good with Scroll of the Masters, I would say. Scroll of the, Masters. Alright, let's take the red card, whatever. Karsi High Priest versus Cash Defenses. I actually think Cash Defenses is a pretty awesome card. That makes a big dude for a relatively cheap cost. How good is Karsi High Priest in this deck? I'm actually not sure. I'm going to take the Karsi High Priest just on a hunch that I want some cheap stuff. Like even Erishan Cleric sacking it. Mostly what I like is that in response to their removal, you just sack it instead. Just randomly turns off some good spells. Whoops, I waited too long on that one. I think, well, if we end up green, I guess I could want that maybe. And a Grave Strength. All right. So, so far so good. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with where we're at. Kind of a Mardu shell. All right, well, Mardu rare opened. That's not bad. It's also Abzan Battle Priest, which is quite good. Skull Hunter Hateblade. Also good. I think we'll go Crackling Doom, though. It's a good removal spell. I like it with Scroll of the Masters as well. Abzan Battle Priest is a very good card. I'm sad that I have to pass it. I don't have to pass it, I admit, but I like the idea of getting Crackling Doom, and I don't want to bank on tabling it, even though that is possible. Well, we got Rakshasa Death Dealer, which is definitely one of the better cards you can have for Abzan. But I guess we're just taking a Horde Chief because it's very good. Otherwise, we take a Bloodfell Caves for fixing or something. But Horde Chief is pretty much exactly what you want, especially with High Priest. I kind of like that. But yeah, Horde Chief is just a great spell, and we're base black-white, which means we could still end up with some Warrior Lord spells if we get lucky. All right. Smite's a fine card. Bring Low is playable as well. I think we're just taking the Scoured Barons, getting a little bit of fixing on. Not really sacrificing that much for it. So what does this deck need? I think we're not doing the green plan anymore. What does this deck need? I think this deck just needs... I don't know. More Warriors, Warrior Lords. Raider Spoils, I wouldn't mind. It fits the curve nicely. And buffs everything, which is good. Our removal looks good, though. I do like that. Throttle seems like a fine pick here. It is a 5-drop. But it's good. It's a good removal spell. All right. I'm sold. A lot of 5-drops, I admit, but I like having all these non-creature spells with the Scroll of the Masters. All right. Ponyback Brigade is likely the pick. I mean, Alabaster Kieran is very good too, but Ponyback's going to be better if we end up playing like a Trumpet Blast or a Rush of Battle. We did pass a Rush of Battle earlier. Yeah, I'm fine with Ponyback. It's a good card. So now we're just Rush of Battle. Warflare would have been quite good in here, but like I said, we still have Rush of Battle or Trumpet Blast options. And even if I don't get him, it's not like it's the end all be all. Ooh, it's a late Horde Chief. Very good. High Priest doesn't have Defender, right? Great. So I can still attack with it to get raid on. Quite good. This deck looks okay. I want some more flashy finishing stuff, which we're lacking. We look like we've got a great token base. All right, Scavenger seems like a pretty good pickup here, especially considering it's a warrior. All right, Lurkers, fine. Snakeskin's fine too. Valley Dashers is not a deck for it, I don't think. It's not even really a deck for the Lurkers, but I'm not giving up anything for it. I could take a Cove speculatively that I would want to splash blue for something, but I think we'll just take the Lurkers in case we need them. All right, Hateblade's a great wheel. Love that card. It's a warrior. It's in our base colors. You can probably easily give it Death Touch. All right, Rush of Battle came back, so it's definitely getting played in here. Great with the warriors we already have. None of these cards really matter. I think we're just going to cut white. Let people... I mean, if I want to hate the best card, I'd probably just take Summit Prowler, but that's not going to get played. So, and red's our lightest color currently, so, all right. Jeskai Elder seems like... Well, I mean, Master of the Way is a fantastic card, too. They're both really good. I'm going to cut the cheaper creature. You can get a lot of value out of Elder if you play it early. All right. So we're just sort of, you know, run-of-the-mill, nothing crazy, Mardu Warrior deck. Let's do a quick count for our Scroll of the Masters, see if it's even worth our time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's not bad. Okay, so options now are Bonkin, Heart Piercer. I mean, Heart Piercer on the splash is a bit worse, but it is a very good card. I do like the idea of swinging in with things and getting raid value. Bonkin is a solid cheap body, though. It's going to turn our Horde Chiefs on. It's not as color intensive as the Heart Piercer will be for us. I mean, our fixing is pretty atrocious, so I would like to play as little red as possible. Heart Piercer is certainly a better card, I think, in a vacuum than Bonkin, but I think I'm still going to take the Bonkin. I'd rather have a lot of cheap game and be a little bit more beat down with removal, especially with the double Horde Chief. So I think I'm just taking the 2-drop, even though the Heart Piercer is a better card, and we're just going to try and minimize red in this deck. Like, I'm not even really interested in the Lurker so much. Okay, there's a Trumpet Blast. There's a Smite the Monstrous. Death Frenzy's pretty good against us. I guess it doesn't kill the Horde Chiefs, though, but still good. Probably just take the Kieran. When in doubt, take the Vigilance 2/3 flyer. Love that card. There is a Sandstep Citadel, which is good mana fixing for us, but we're very light in the red department currently. And this doesn't... Well, Sandstep Citadel would actually legitimately help us. But I kind of want this Kieran. We're a little bit creature light right now, 13 with the Fierce Invocation, so let's take the Kieran. Kieran's actually really good with the Scroll of the Masters, too. Not that it puts counter on it, obviously, but having a Vigilance guy that you can buff offensively or defensively is kind of nice. Okay, I guess we take the Witness, probably. Rugged Highlands lets us splash for green cards that we don't want to splash for, really. Could take the Rite of the Serpent. Maybe just more removal's fine. I don't mind being a bit removal heavy. I mean, I want more finishers, but Witness of the Ages is a bit underwhelming. Rite of the Serpent is admittedly underwhelming too, but I think I'm okay taking it. All right, Windscarred Crag I think is just slam dunk pick here. Good fixing for us. Much needed. All right, Timely Horde Mate can bring back High Priest Rats, Hateblade, Cleric, Bonkin. It's not bad, and it fits our curve nicely. Otherwise, Bitter Revelation is fine, and Hateblade number 2 is probably fine too, but I think we're going to go Horde Mate here. I like the value. Feat of Resistance seems like a pretty easy pickup, likely. Feat is always a great card. I love having that combat trick, and Second Throttle's fine, but we're doing good on the top game already, so all right. Already have to make some cuts, which is a good problem to have, admittedly. Of all these cards... Probably the Weapon Master maybe is what I'm most fearful of. Rakshasa Secret might be a card I want. Not likely to play it, but keeping my options open. I think we'll just hate the 2-drop. Dragon Scale Boon's quite good, but whatever. All right. Bloodsucker. Don't have a lot of 4 toughness, guys. I think we take the Krumar here. Not sure if we play it. Warriors aren't absolutely important for our deck to succeed. I probably don't need the Krumar, but whatever. I guess I'd take it. Brave the Sands is a fine sideboard card to have. Actually, Dutiful Return's a good sideboard card too. I think I'd rather have the Dutiful Return sideboard option. It's really nice against the heavy removal decks. I guess we're kind of the heavy removal deck, but Bird Warrior, that flies, maybe. Keep my options open. So our removal looks good. We have to make a couple cuts, though. I think we should probably play 18 lands, although we didn't get any card advantage, so maybe I cut some of my late game. Highland game seems good against us. Maybe I don't need the High Priest. It is kind of cool to sack a token and get a 2/2, potentially better, but it's not that great of a card. Certainly not a beatdown card at all, so I can probably pretty easily cut it. Then we're back at 14 creatures, which is a bit of an issue, but certainly good for Scroll of the Masters. Let's do a count on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 is a pretty adequate count for Scroll of the Masters, so I'm debating playing it. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's an awful card, but I certainly want to give it a chance. I haven't gotten a chance to play it yet, and I've been looking at it. I mean, it seems like a card that would shine the most in Jeskai because you've already got a pretty high, count. But I might actually play 17 lands. Debating it. We're not very color intensive at all. Only our, well, I guess Crackling Doom is, but our top end, Ponyback, you just play as a morph. Right of the Serpent has double black, but it's in our top end. And I feel like we could probably get away with 17 lands. I don't know how risky that is. I have to think about it for a second. Let's group stuff separate. I think we do have a lot of 5-drops, which could be an issue. But an Aershin Cleric's not very beatdown, I guess. But I need all the creatures I can get at this point. I feel like I could flood out pretty easily if I run 18 lands with this deck, and I have like no card advantage. So I think I am going to run 17 lands, as risky as it potentially is. We only have 4 red spells in the deck, so I think I'm going to have to get away with a Windscarred Crag and 3 mountains and make do with that, which is probably okay. We're mostly white, and then only 4 red spells, so I probably just do... so 2 white sources already. So this is 9 white, 6 black, 4 red. I think I have to do 8, 7. 8 white, 7 black, and 4 red. Yeah, it's not great, but it's adequate for sure. Overall, I think this deck's okay. I like our removal. Removal looks good. I'm kind of excited to try out Scroll of the Masters. We'll find out if it's actually good. I do think our removal looks very good. Crackling Doom, Douse and Gloom. A lot of Doom. Doom and Gloom. Reach of Shadows, Throttle, Pyrotechnics, Right of the Serpent. Yeah. Removal Suit looks very nice. We've got some, we've got adequate evasion in Outcast, which gives you the little token flyer. Kieran, Scavenger. So not a ton. We don't have a lot of bangy sort of like, we don't have like a ton of super impressive creatures, which I don't typically like, but I think we can find situations where Rush of Battle is going to take the game over. I kind of wish Lotus Eye Mystics did something in this deck, because I don't think we have any enchantments, unfortunately. Do I have like ones I've got in sideboard or something? I don't think so. Siegecraft. Yeah, it's not quite worth it. Molting Snakeskin. Yeah, I guess that one too. Snakeskin on a Typhoid Rats and a Hate Blade is actually deceptively good. But I don't want to cut any creatures. All right, I guess we're playing it like this. Overall, this deck's okay. I don't think Lotus Eye Mystics is the best in this deck. I forget what I passed for it now. There's something I could have taken over it, but I'll have to look back at that. But yeah, this deck's fine. You know, I think it's fine. Fine, not amazing. But we'll see how it does. 14 creatures with the Fierce Invocation. Possibly too top heavy to be playing 17 lands, but I guess we'll find out shortly if that's the case. So, all right. Wish me luck. I'll see you round 1.